go from this to this. And that is going to be the topic of today's video, how to play 16th notes evenly. But how do you get there? How do you get from point A to point B while playing evenly in tune with correct articulation? You're about to find out. Hi, my name is Eric, and I am dedicated to helping you become a better violinist. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to use Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto as an example for today's exercise. Now, there are many ways to go about this with Mendelssohn. However, if you're playing a piece that has running 16th notes, don't worry, you could use these same techniques on your piece. First of all, different bowings. If you're struggling with a 16th note passage that has even 16th notes, meaning down bows and up bows, you're not working on any slurs or any crazy bowings in your passage, then you can do a variety of different bowings. For example, if I'm playing, you can use 2 notes per bow in a running 16th note passage. So check this out. This is what it sounds like. That's one way to go about that. You could also up the ante and use 4 notes per bow. So now, what's great about these exercises is that you're actually focusing on sound quality and intonation at the same time. And then, last but not least, you can do 8 notes per bow. But it doesn't have to be just slurs. You can do a different variation of the bow. You can do 3 down and 1 up. Or you can do 3 up and 1 down. You can do a doubling of the notes. I like this one particularly when I'm teaching students Mendelssohn Violin Concerto because it teaches them sautier. And if you're practicing this way, you're already kind of hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. You're practicing the sautier and the intonation and how to get the articulation. So that's one really excellent practice tip. Another way is you can do 3 down and 1 down, 3 up, 1 up. So it looks something like this. You can do something like that. And as a matter of fact, we haven't even gotten to the most difficult part of this passage yet. Now, how do we even approach that? Well, you can do the bowings that we've just discussed, but there's an even more valuable tip that I can give you today, and that is the beauty of rhythms. Rhythms I recommend doing all the time. When you're trying to recalibrate your right hand and your left hand, you're trying to kind of reprogram the brain on how to do that. So how do we go about that? This is one rhythm here. And of course, I'm using a different bowing right there. But the idea is when you're doing these rhythms, you're trying to set the left hand before the rhythm of the right hand happens. So did you notice what I just did there? I shifted right after that rhythm is finished. And that's one really useful tip that I can give you today. That's going to really teach your hand how to shift efficiently and quickly when we even everything out. No, there's another way you can do this with another rhythm, and it's a shoe shine bow stroke. And particularly here, which is why I love this exercise, is you have to do a clean shift during the rhythm. So it's not the other where I have some space, but I have. So that's really, really beneficial to your left hand. Especially when you get to up here. And then obviously when you get to a faster tempo, you want to do these rhythms in a faster tempo too. So almost like Sibelius violin concerto in the way, kind of that way, that type of rhythm. But you're kind of working as fast as you can until you kind of maxed out with your left hand. If I were practicing this for a performance, I try to clean that up in terms of sound quality, maybe not press so much and pronate on my right hand. So my observation is that I'm actually maybe not going so much at the tip here. I may be going a little bit more upper middle bow. That sounds a little clearer to me. And then you can do it the opposite way in faster tempo too. Same idea. And then I eventually, once I feel comfortable doing all of those rhythms, then I even it out. I smooth it out with the regular rhythm, but I do it legato. I don't go spiccato yet. I do. Because I want to feel each note under the bow. And I want to make sure that sound-wise, my down bows and my up bows sound equal. So here we go. Right? To me, that sounded even, that sounded in tune. And then, of course, I try to go a little faster. And then I work my way up. And then if I can, I try to go faster than the original tempo for the sole reason that if I am nervous on stage, then I could kind of relax back and I can trust my skill to achieve the tempo. I don't have to rush actually. So, and then at this point you can add sotto. And at that point, at the top, I would probably use more bow here. I would not use sautille here. I don't want it to make it sound like Haydn or Mozart. Then over here, once I'm here, now I feel confident in those shifts because I practiced those rhythms in the shoeshine stroke. And you could actually practice starting from there. You don't have to go all the way from the bottom of the scale. You can go all the way here. That's one way to go about it. Those are some of my favorite ways to practice 16th note passages. And whenever I come across a passage like this in Mendelssohn, then I always use rhythms because I know I can get from point A to point B a lot faster. Now, if you're looking for more violin tips and tutorials, again, my name is Eric. I'm a violinist. I appreciate you staying to the end of the video. If you're not involved with our community, please click the subscribe button. It really helps me out to create more useful content for you violinists out there. And if you're interested in getting connected even more, I invite you to go down into the description below to sign up for my newsletter where you get weekly or bi-weekly updates on YouTube videos right in your email inbox. If you're looking for some more violin tips, I invite you to take a look at some videos here and right over here for you to get better. See you next time.